Hello Group 3 and welcome back to our second week of online lessons. This week we're going to be working on the exciting new key of, drumroll, concert F. What does this mean to you? Well, all of that will become clear. But first let's start with our warm-ups. I'd like you to play on page 6 of your Essential Elements Book 2, as we did last week, number 20, Tone Builder. I can hear you saying, ooh, we played that last week. But this week's challenge is to play it as slowly as you can. 2 bars to be done with 1 breath and to make the sound absolutely beautiful. Then on to number 21, Flexibility Study. This one should be sounding more fluent after a week of practice and hopefully very few squeaks from our clarinets. Then number 21, it's Technique Track. Now this is new, and before playing, have a look at the key signature. Yes, it's different. Have a look at the music, see the notes, and see where it's going to affect what you have to play. It's there on the second note. You need to adjust your fingering or your slide position. You can mark it with a pencil, but don't do the whole song. Don't mark them all the way along because your music will get very cluttered. You need to remember that what key you are playing in. So perhaps a circle around the key signature at the beginning of the page line. Now, enough with the warm-ups. Let's get on and play. Oh, no, let's go back and talk about the articulation. So the articulation in this one, number 22, is starting with all tongue. So the first phrase, now that's 4 bars. Let me see if I can find my note. It'll sound like tongue, 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 tongue. Now slow. Slur, 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 slur. And that will get you onto the second line, which is a combination of slurs and tonguing. I'm sure you're thinking now, how does Jenny like those 2-note slurs played? Remember, the second note should be played lighter and mezzo staccato, mezzo being a little bit. So we're just going to shave a little bit of the value off the note. Right, enough warm-up. Let's move on to this week's playlist. And first up is number 24, Grandfather's Clock. This is a well-known tune by Henry Work, which was written in 1876. You might like to remember that number, 1876. This song starts with staccato notes, and I'd normally tell you to play them like bubbles popping, a very gentle sound. Beep, beep, beep. But this week, in this song, we're going to think of them as a clock ticking. Tick, tock, tick, tick, tock, tick, tick, tock, tick, tick, tock, tick, tick. And then the song moves on to tenuto. So you'll see that these are straight lines, either above or below the note's head. So these notes will be played connected, no gaps between them. On the second line, you'll see that we have the challenge added with some forte and then piano. All right, the forte should be strong, but not forced. I'm moving on. All right. Our next song is number 27, Loch Lomond. There's a yellow box for you to read at the top about the history of the song. And I'm sure many of you have been lucky enough to go to Scotland and enjoy roaming in the gloaming. I know that Ralph and I did back in 2016 on our trip with the Brandmans. The song Loch Lomond has many tenuto marks telling you to play each note for its full value. They also have 2-note slurs, and of course you remember that I've told you that 2-note slurs, the second note should be played lighter. You'll probably need to play this slowly to take care with the many articulation notes and dynamic changes. I think all but the second last note has articulation on it, so you'll need to think how you're actually playing it. Now we're comfortable in this new key. We're going to go on to number 28, key changes. And in the yellow box it says, if a key signature changes during the piece of music, you will usually see a thin bar line to help you with the key change. You may also see natural signs reminding you to cancel previous sharps or flats. Keep playing using the correct notes indicated in the new key signature. All right, so 28, Molly Malone. We're going to start in concert E flat, our old friend. And then you'll see at the end of the first line there is a key change. You might be wondering, why do composers use key changes? It would be so much easier just to play it in one key. It's to add excitement to the music. If you've ever watched Australian Idol or The Voice, you'll know that audiences go wild often in the middle of the song, and you don't really know why, but you can feel that you are excited by what's happening. This is where the song has had a key change, and it's a great tool to emote feeling in an audience, and composers use it often. Enough of essential elements. Okay, so now you're going to play something a bit longer. I'd like you to find your Beatles book and blow off the dust. Find the solo part to twist and shout. Yes, the solo part. Don't play the band arrangement. You're going to do the solo. Now, found it? Guess what? It's in the same key as what we've been working in this week. The music is written with straight eighth notes that go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but I don't want you to play it like that. We never play things the way they're written, do we? I'd like you to play it like the Beatles sang it. So I've put a link in the assignment to YouTube where you can listen to the original and copy their style of the rhythms. Now I've also put a backing track, and if you would like to experiment with that, the best way is to use earphones. So the earphones, you can hear the backing track clearly over your own playing, and that's how you'll work best. Now, for theory this week, you'll find a PDF on key signatures. I found it less frustrating in my life once I could understand how key signatures work, and I hope this will work for you as well. Regardless of the fact that we don't often play with many sharps or flats in our current music, it's important to know why it works. So print off the PDF, complete it with a pencil, and take a picture and send it to my email. I'll mark it and then send it back to you. Did you enjoy the quiz last week? Yes, well, there's another one. Hooray! And it'll be about the songs that we've covered in this lesson. Now, there's one last part of this week's assignment, and it's purely selfish on my part. I would love to see you. I do miss your smiling faces, so can you please send me a photo of you and your instrument in your home, perhaps where you practice. All right, now you might need to use the timer, or hopefully you've got someone who's sharing your space in this time of isolation who can take a picture of you. So that's the end of this week's music for Group 3. Wishing you a happy Easter. Stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you all next week. Woo! Bye.